Good afternoon, welcome back to Live Shopping here at Highlight Crafts. My name's Mel and I'm going to be taking you through our second Scan and Cut show of the Tuesdays. Now, I'm just going to preempt this, okay? I am having some time off at Christmas. And as much as I love you, I'm not coming over to do my Scan and Cut shows on a Tuesday, right? Because I know what happens if I don't do them, I get told off. So, I'm just putting that out there. But today, we've got some cracking products on for you. I'm going to show you how to make this card from scratch. So not just the mats and layers, but how to build it from scratch with the allium flower of the month, and then you can use that technique and do it with all sorts of different things. I did ask yesterday if we could get the vases, you know, the vases for the Highlight Look stickers, if we could have those as SVGs, and we can, but we couldn't get it in time for today. So next week we're going to be doing all sorts of shape cards with that, which will be brilliant as well. So you should have time off, says Fran. I know, right? And Pauline says, you'll be proud of me. I went to the doctor's this morning for an injection and got talking to a lady giving it to me. And she said she did paper crafting. And I started talking about Highlight Crafts and how wonderful you are. Bless you, I love that. Then spoke about my Scan and Cut and what a brilliant machine it is. And she has one in a box. Do I need to give her the look? Message in and tell me what her name is. And then tonight I can go, right, if you're watching, if you know her name. So she's going to be watching at 6 o'clock tonight. Brilliant. Love that. How fabulous is that? Lewis, can you just pop that on charge for me for a bit while we do this boring bit? I know, but I have to do it because we get new people all the time. So, live shopping here at Highlight Crafts. Actually, I'm going to introduce you to my team first. We've got Laura on cameras. There she is. Smiling away. We've got Lewis.
Hello.
There he is. Beards. Are you happy with your beard now? We need a beard update. You happy?
Yeah, I've trimmed it down.
It's nice. Yeah, it suits you.
A lot better.
It does. Suits you.
I'm homeless now.
Brilliant. And you've got me for an hour. Now we're also back at 6 o'clock tonight, and we've got pyrography after this as well, so make sure that you stay tuned. Right, live shopping. So there's various platforms that you can watch us on. You can watch us on YouTube. You can also watch us on Facebook, Instagram, and our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. Now to shop on Facebook or Instagram, we're going to show you a product, and each product that we show you will have a unique code. And all you need to do is type the word shop and then that code into the comments underneath the video, and that will automatically put that product into a basket for you. We'll then send you a direct message. When you click on that message, it'll open up and you'll find a link. Click the link. That will take you to highlightcrafts.com, where you can log into your account and then check out those baskets. Now, on digital items, the sooner you check out, the sooner you can be crafting with it, which is brilliant, isn't it? So if you got the allium this morning, you could actually craft along and do the card shape at the same time if you wanted to, which I think is brilliant. Now, if you would prefer to watch us direct and shop directly on our website, you can also do that. So pop on over to highlightcrafts.com, click play, and as soon as that show goes live, all the products in the show will appear down the right hand side of your screen. You then just select the ones that you wish to purchase, and they'll go into a little red shopping bag that will come up at the top of your screen. And when you're ready to log in and check out, you click on that bag and that will take you through that process. Now, if you're brand new to us, the first thing I need you to do, well, say hello to us in the comments, please, because we like to give you a nice, warm Highlight Crafts welcome. We're here and we're just a small family business. There's about 26 of us. And we come into the studios every day, apart from Sunday, and we keep you company and you keep us company, and we share all our decades worth of experience and information and education and inspiration, but we also have a lot of fun on the way. We're not serious and we're not sleek, but we do. Every person that stands behind this counter crafts. So you get everybody's expertise, which is lovely. And we tend to have different people within the business that specialise in certain products. Mine is ScanNCut, David's is Cadence, Stephanie does all sorts of different stuff. But it's a really lovely community that we're bringing. The other thing I'd like you to do is open an account, because it automatically and for free makes you a member of Club Highlight, and that means that you will get extra discount on every order with no exceptions. You also get loyalty points for every pound that you spend. They'll be credited back in a couple of weeks' time to your account. I actually had a lady bought over £100 worth of Cadence products when they were on a deal yesterday, and she paid a penny because she used all the points. We had another customer bought the resin heat mat this morning. Should have been £59.99. She paid £8.95 because she used the points. So please open an account with us. That's really important, because then you're not going to pay the price on your screen. You're going to pay less. And the more you spend with us and the more you shop with us, the bigger that discount becomes, which is great. Obviously, it's got a cap, otherwise we wouldn't be here in January. Right. First things I want to show you, I'm going to talk to you about this download and this vinyl, and then I'm going to show you what we did at the end of the show at 8 o'clock this morning. Now, if you're familiar with Minecraft Studio is a graphics program that was designed by crafters for crafters, and we sell digital downloads. Okay, now this is one of the digital downloads for Minecraft Studio. So you're going to get 32 sheets of sentiments in here, and most of them are in this wonderful brush lettering script. Now, brush lettering is really difficult, or I find it difficult. I think it's something you can either pick up and do, or you have to spend a long time learning it, and I haven't got the time, unfortunately, to be able to learn it properly. So this is a download. Now it's £6.99. If you didn't get this yesterday, please get this, because every single one of these can be a cutting file, a drawing file, a foiling file, and an embossing file, right? So 4 different things that you can do with them. 32 pages, not 32 sentiments. Please get this in your basket. Now, I took this one that says, "We wish you a Merry Christmas," in the form of a Christmas tree. So you take it into Minecraft Studio. Now, when you open it up, the whole sheet opens up. You can't just turn the whole thing black and print it off, because it turns everything black. So you can't see the actual shapes themselves. So you crop it. So at the top, there's a little button called crop, and you crop around the one that you want. Okay, then you blow it up. Then you scan it in. We did this at 8 o'clock this morning, and you create a cutting file. And then, if you come with me, we cut it out of vinyl this morning. Look at that. That, 4 hours ago, was on a flat piece of paper. This is brilliant, right? So this is the vinyl that we've got on the show, and then to transfer it, all you're going to do is use transfer tape. Now, in the vinyl, which I'll talk to you about in a minute, you will get 2 bonus transfer sheets. So I'm just going to pop this on here like that and press that down. I've got a little crinkle in that now, but we'll make it work. Let's get rid of that air bubble. There you go. Right, so then you pick this up on your transfer tape like that. Oh, there's something really magical about that. That's very satisfying. Oh, wow. Right, and then I'm going to pop it on. Let's find a piece of glitter card. We haven't got a lot of this left. Let's put it onto this silver. So the best way to do it is to hold it so it dips in the middle. Put the middle down and then just let it lay down. And then burnish it down, excuse me, with your scraper like that. Give it a good burnish down. And then, I've never tried it on glitter card. Oh yeah, it's going to come up. Look at that. Brilliant. And then you're just going to get that beginning bit like that. Now, I wonder if it's going to stick to that glitter card. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll try it and we'll find out, won't we? Yeah, it doesn't like that glitter card. All right, let me take it off that. That's because there'll be a plastic coating on the back. The good thing about that is, look, you can take it off if you don't like it. Right, let's just find a piece of our posh card then, and we'll put it on here instead. That's a good tip. At least we now know, don't we? We all know, so you're not wasting yours. And then we'll just press this down. It's a bit like our resin decals, but not as dimensional. And then we just get underneath here with your pair of tweezers or your pokey tool or whatever you've got. Come on. Let's get under there. There we are. Got a little bubble there. And then you just roll it back. So get the end bit first and just roll it back. And don't rush this process, okay? Just take your time, because this is absolutely brilliant. And for £6.99, you can get all of those. So we're just going to pull that down there and just take your time and look at that. But this could be drawn, it could be foiled, it could be on your parchment. That gives you the scope to be able to do all of those different techniques really quickly and really simply. Right, let me just get my scraper again. I'm just going to hold that down like that and get underneath that vinyl. So when I peel it, this is what I mean about taking your time, okay? But I love working with vinyl, but this could be on one of our drinks bottles that we've been bringing you recently. It could be on a mug if you want it to be. Vinyl is such a diverse product, and the machine, now I would recommend getting the vinyl starter kit. It's out of stock at the moment. Brother haven't got any in either, so we're waiting for them to get it back in stock. Unfortunately, Brother don't hold stock in the UK, so we have to wait for it to come in from their head offices in Germany. But look at this, look how simply, and just take your time, this is a complex design here, and you weed it all out, so you get rid of all the little bits that are inside in the middle, like in the middle of the A's and the E's, and you just peel this back. Look at this. I tell you what, this shows you the quality of those resin decals, because they come off really easily, don't they? But this will come off too. So we're just going to press this down and use this. I'm not going to do all of it, because otherwise we'll be here till the end of the show, and I've got loads to show you today. But you can see then how you just peel that back. I will do it before 6 o'clock tonight, because otherwise it'll annoy me that I haven't got it off. I'm terrible for that. I can't walk away from anything until it's done. Right. So you peel it off like that, and then that is completely flush. I'm just going to fold that over so it doesn't stick back down, and I'll finish that off later on. So your download is Shop Words, $6.99, and your vinyl, now this is a deal and a half. This, I was telling people about this when we went to the show at Bath at the weekend, and they were like, you get 30 sheets of 12 by 12 black vinyl for $9.99. I was like, yep. And you get 2 bonus transfer sheets. And this is a fabulous, fabulous quality vinyl. Should be $39.98. You're saving bar a penny, you're saving £30, and you will still get your discount. That's what I mean about Highlight Crafts. We don't go, oh, we've already slashed the price, you can't have your discount on your points. You still get that, which is brilliant. So Shop Black, $9.99 will get you both of those. Get those into your basket. Right, my lovelies, let's talk flower of the month, shall we? Because this launched on Saturday with Jane and Corinne, and we did say that we would do the SVG demos on this today, and we're doing it now at 12 o'clock. So Uralium. Now, because we saw quite a lot of ScanNCuts recently, I'm going to go back to basics. When you buy SVG files from us, we give you what we call reflections artwork. And this is the coloured images that you can see very clearly on this sheet here. So you get all of the artwork that works in conjunction with the cutting file that is an SVG file that you ScanNCut reads, okay? So you get all of the artwork, and we give it you in 3 different sizes. So we always start with the original, so the size that the die was. Then we either do a smaller and a larger version, or a larger and an extra large version, depending on what the artwork calls for, okay? Then you get the reverse of that artwork. So if you wanted to have one of these in a vase shaped card so that they're coming out of the top, you could do that and you could have them back to back. So it looks as clean on the back as it does on the front. We also then create digital decoupage layers for you, so you can cut those out and build up your florals. And you'll see I've done that on that flower there. You can just see where I've used some pin flare glue gel and built that decoupage layer up, so you don't need to snip into it. It's already done for you. And then we also give you the detailed designs. Now at 6 o'clock tonight, I'm going to recap how to foil on a reflection, because I've been asked that a lot. And we're going to do that at 6 o'clock and then use the reindeer SVGs that we've got on the show for you. But now what we've done with our detailed designs that we've always brought you so you could draw them, foil them, emboss them, we've also put a positioning guide within those reflections to enable you to line it up so it's pinpoint accurate, which is brilliant. So we'll do more of that at 6 o'clock tonight. But in the meantime, you're going to get all of that, plus you're going to get Minecraft Studio. Now, Minecraft Studio I avoided for years, because one, I didn't think I'd be able to use it, and two, I knew that if I could, I'd end up going down this rabbit hole. The first one wasn't true, because it's super easy to use. The second one, Minecraft Studio should come with a government health warning, because it's seriously addictive, but it's absolutely brilliant, and it's free. I know. So as long as you've got a Windows-based PC, you can download Minecraft Studio for free. There are hundreds of hours worth of education on our YouTube channel. Well, hundreds, there's a lot. Plus, there's a help menu in Minecraft Studio itself, and there's page after page after page after page of instruction. It's superb. Plus, there's an undo button. Always good, right? So Minecraft Studio artwork, so you're going to get all of this that you can play around with. We are going to, what I want to do in the new year, in fact I might do it for the club class actually, Minecraft Studio with ScanNCut. I'll think about that one. Let me know what you think about that, if you fancy that as a club class. So you're getting all of this in all these different colourways. Oliver Laura will come in and show you all the different colours that you've got in here. You also get these as an extra bonus, which is great. You're then also going to get all your reflections. Now yours won't look like this. Yours will have a rectangle around them. You've then also got all your digi-stamps. You're then also going to get your overlays, and you're also going to get all your textures that work perfectly for your mats and layers in all those different colourways. Shop Digital, $12.99 is going to get you that little lot this home. You could be crafting with that this afternoon. It's brilliant, isn't it? Love it. So Shop Digital will get you that one. Now I'm going to go through this one and then we're going to go and cut a reflection, because again, we've had loads of new people join us who won't have a clue what a reflection is, so we're going to teach them. So this is Reindeer Rink. Now the dies for this don't launch till tomorrow. We got the SVGs first because I didn't want you to have to wait for demos till next week when it's a little bit too late. So we're bringing it to you now, and this doesn't have to be Christmas. This is just about winter. And the story, in fact, I'll bring the story in at 6 o'clock tonight, because there's a lovely little story. We do like a mood board, and they go up on the walls in Creative so we can all see what's coming up. And there's a lovely little story. In fact, Lewis, will you do me a favour? Will you pop to the board? Yep. In Creative and just bring me the top sheet? Thank you. I'll read you the story. It's lovely. I read it this morning. I was like, oh, when did we start doing this? But this is all about these little fawns learning to skate. And this is the grown-up who's trying to teach them. You can imagine, can't you? It's like Bambi all over again. So you're going to get Alaric. You're also going to get Crystal Hooves and Snow Dancer, your two little fawns. You've got Snowdrop and Mistletoe. These are gorgeous, aren't they? And then you've got First Frost. Now this is brilliant because you get the scene and then you get all the decoupage pieces to build that scene up and make it dimensional. So if you wanted to make it into a tunnel card, you absolutely could. Thank you, Lewis. Right, let me read this to you. So it says, in the heart of a frosty woodland glade, two little deer crystal hooves and snow dancer are learning to skate for the very first time. With noses dusted in snow and tiny hooves that sparkle like frost, they take their first wobbly glides across the frozen pond. Every slip brings a giggle, every twirl a shimmer of winter magic. Surrounded by soft snowflakes and twinkling trees, their friendship shines as bright as the morning ice. Perfect for winter crafting and storytelling, their world is one of sparkle, laughter, and the simple joy of trying something new. I've literally got goosebumps. How wonderful is that? Isn't that fabulous? And I find, thank you, darling, I find that crafting when you've got a story makes it easier because you know where everything's going to go. So if you'd like to imagine making a storybook like that for the kids, right? This is Shop Duo. You're going to get all your artwork. Now these wibbly wobbly lines, these relate to the dies. You don't get those because you don't need them because we've done the decoupage layers for you. So you don't need to line them up, you just cut them out and layer them up. You're going to get everything that we've told you before. So you get all of these different elements that you can build them up. You get a different colourway. You also get your reflections. Again, yours will be relevant to your SVG files. You then get your digi-stamps. Now, last week I showed you how to take one of the pieces of artwork and lay the digi-stamp over the top of it, group them together, print it off, scan it in, cut it out, and it looks like you've stamped the detail. If we get a chance, we'll do that again at 6 o'clock tonight because it's a game changer. It's another thing that you can make your ScanNCut do with Micro Studio. You've then got all of these wonderful winter scenes. You can almost hear the silence. Look at that. It's just so quiet. You can hear it, can't you, the silence? They're beautiful, beautiful pieces of artwork. And then you've also got your overlays. So you can print these on your printable acetate if you wanted to. And then you get the most beautiful textures. This colourway is exquisite. I've always loved brown and teal together. And this is absolutely wonderful. Shop Duo, $14.99. Isn't that lovely? What a wonderful story. Right, tell me yes or no. Shall I see if we can make that as a digital download so you could put it on the inside of your cards? If you'd like it, type yes. If you don't want it, type no. And I'll see. I can't promise him because I might get in trouble for saying that because it's more work. But I'll see if we can. Well, then he's put copy and paste in, isn't it? That's all right, isn't it? Pauline Winding. Her new is Susie Manning. Can you write that down for me? Because I will forget. And she is going to come and see me in the new year for a crafty session. Pauline, that's amazing. Oh, I love you. You're brilliant, aren't you? Thank you so much. Now then, Mark says, good afternoon, Mel and the team. Good afternoon. I have a question. Watch today's 8 a.m. show to answer the question if the Tattered Lace Digital Magazine 1 to 12 will fit on one 16 gig memory stick. Yes, it will. I bought it and I've copied it onto the USB stick. It's approximately 12 gig. Mark, thank you. Do you know what? Honestly, you lot are brilliant. Thank you so much. Yes, perfect. Oh, you're a little gem. Thanks, Mark. And we do have a blank USB. Now, we know that this is compatible with your ScanNCut because this is the one that when we used to bring you USBs rather than digital downloads, this is the one that we would put that artwork on. So 16 gig, $12.99. That'll fit all your tattered lace. Brilliant. I love that. Thank you so much. Don't forget Shay Makes as well on Highlight Your Creativity, which is our Facebook page. Afternoon all. I was interrupted this morning. Rude. I love these ScanNCut shows. Thank you, Highlight Crafts, and all the team. You are the best. Thanks, Alice. That's lovely. Alison Young said, bought this last night and I'm making a sparkly Let It Snow sweatshirt with some tattered lace snowflakes. Brilliant, Alison. Love that. Oh, you need to let us see that. Jonathan says, if you follow the same process, you can bring these words into Glowforge and cut them out of wood and make a full sign to hang. Yes, you can. And if you're wondering what Glowforge is, it's a laser. Pauline Ellenson says, afternoon all, just a tad late, been busy in the kitchen, batch of marzipan made and 11 mini Christmas cakes in the oven. Oh, Pauline, I'm coming to your house. Carol M says, please Mel, can you reuse the vinyl transfer sheets or are they single use? You can use them over and over and over again. They're brilliant. So yes, get that into your basket. Right, now then, I've done that. I think we're going to go over to demo. Should we go over to demo and do some of that? Lewis, my screen's frozen.
Okay.
Standard.
Oh, yeah.
Come with me, I'm like that. Right, I'm going to bring this with me because we're going to learn how to do this. So, we will cut a reflection, and while it's cutting, we will do this because, as I said, we've had a lot of new people recently join us. If I get any more questions, Lewis, please tell me because I'm getting the iPad out of the way. I need to make myself some space. We were having this conversation at the show at Bath this weekend because everyone was saying, oh, yeah, you haven't got enough room. I'm like, don't matter how much space we have as crafters. We always end up working in this much space, don't we? Right, now then. So, a couple of things you need to know. When you're printing out your reflections artwork, you need to print it at either actual size or 100%. Okay, it's not too serious if you don't, because you can resize your cutting file. But with dies, absolutely you need to do that because you can't resize a die. So once you've printed it out, and I always use 140 pure print, not the premium pure print, please, because that will stick to the mat and you'll never get it off. Okay, so we want the regular pure print. It's outside stock at the moment, but I'm nagging Katie every day to get it back in. So once you've printed it off, you'll see a couple of things. You'll see a rectangle that goes all the way around the outside edge. That's to line the cutting file up for your reflections cuts. And now going forward, you'll start to see these crosses, and the crosses is the alignment for the foiling, which we're going to do tonight at 6. So make sure you tune in for that. So on the bottom of there as well, you'll get the name of the collection. So Flower of the Month, Allium. It'll tell you which one it is because we do the bouquet, over the edge, etc. So this is the over the edge allium. And if there's no size on it, it will be the original. Okay. If it's a large or an extra large or a small, it will give you the size. So what you're going to do then is take that and place it onto your mat. Now it doesn't matter where on that mat you put it, as long as it's straight, because the last thing you want to be doing is messing about rotating that cutting file. Okay, so once you've done that bit, oh, still got my stylus. I've done well. I've managed to keep it till lunchtime. Doing all right. I like to put my files on a USB. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you which you prefer, but I like to put them on a USB. So I'm just going to pop the regular, or not, brilliant, the regular blade back into my ScanNCut, so we're ready to go. Right, so what we've done is we bring you cutting files. All right, so we're going to retrieve that information or data from the USB. We're going to go into SVG Allium, and we're going to go into Flower of the Month Allium. We're going to use the over the edge, the reflections cuts, and the original size. Then you've got a second colorway. Now that's not going to open on your ScanNCut, that's for your printer. All right, you've then got your decoupage layers and you've got your full cut. So we're going to click on that and this file will appear. So the first thing we're going to do on here is press OK, and then we need to group it all together so we can move it. So we're editing it because we're changing it. So go to edit, we're editing the object. So you click on that and this opens up all your different elements here. Now to group it together first, you need to select all the parts. So we multiple select everything on the mat, which is the 4 flowers and the rectangle. We press OK, we go back to editing the object and we group it together. So now I can move that anywhere on that screen. Now the next thing we're going to do is scan this image in, or this sheet in, and we're scanning it in, not so that it can find the outside edge, because what we always do is we extend the ink. It's called a bleed, so that if you don't line it up pinpoint accurately, it really doesn't matter. You're not going to see that white edge. So the next thing we're going to do now is scan this in, and we scan from here for this particular technique, and we press start. And what it's then going to do is bring up a full colour image on that screen of that piece of paper, so that you can then just line up the rectangle that's around on the paper and the rectangle that's around the cutting file. And that's all you need to do, is line both of those up, right? So it's super easy. So to do that, we're going to go to edit, and we're going to zoom in, and we're going to zoom in to 400%. Now you can see the rectangle there on the scanned image. All we're going to do is drop this over the top of there, use our directional arrows to get it precise, and then when we press OK, all 4 of those are lined up perfectly. Now, what I like to do then is ungroup it. Once you've ungrouped something that's been multiple selected, you need to tap the screen to release the shapes. I'm going to get rid of the rectangle just because I can. And then I just want to cut one. So rather than deleting them off, just go into your settings, click on your cut area, and drag over the 3 that you don't want to cut. And then you press OK, and again, and then we keep going until you get to please select and cut, and then the auto blade will automatically work out the pressures and the blade depths that you need to cut that out. Now, we've got half cut on from cutting vinyl. Remember to turn that off, because it will half cut that, and then you'll be like, it hasn't cut through. That's because you've got half cut on. And then we just press start. So I'm going to let it do that, because I need to use my machine to set up my files to then go into Canvas. And in less than a minute, it will accurately have cut out that flower. Okay. Now, if we don't get the whole card done in this hour, because I'm going to do it nice and slowly, more for me than you, because I have to remember what I did, we will carry on at 6 o'clock tonight, okay? But I'm hoping we might be able to get it done. So, get your downloads in your baskets, please, and make sure that you're checking those out, because I can then keep demoing, right? I know. I know you like the demos, and I know sometimes it annoys you that I have to do the selling bit, but we have to make a living, otherwise I won't be here. And we don't want that, do we? No. Right, so I'm going to peel this off, and behind here, so now I've got all 3 with that rectangle still intact, that I can come back at any time and cut those out, all right? And then you would do exactly the same thing, but with the decoupage. And then you're just going to get underneath that stem and gently peel it off, okay? Because this is a lightweight paper and it's a sticky mat. So be gentle, right? And then I'm going to bend the mat slightly, so don't crease it, but you can bend it. And there is your flower perfectly cut out in less than a minute. Brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Right, let's start this project. So I've already got that file on there. So the first thing that you're going to do, oh no, I don't want to do that, I want to use it. Oh no, let's go back. Right, so I'm going to put my cut area back to normal, like that, and I'm going to press OK. I'm going to get rid of these 3. Now, to delete multiple ones, the easiest way to do it is to select one of the ones you want to get rid of, go to Edit, multiple select part of the mat this time, drag over the one that you want to keep, which is that one there, press OK, that will select all the others, and then you can just put them in the bin. Now, that will not take them off the USB, so don't panic, all right? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is rotate that 90 degrees so it's vertical, because I want to use it this way. The next thing I'm going to do is create a 1.5mm matte layer of that flower. Now, you can do that on your SDX by using these 2 concentric circles. If you've got a CM machine, you will do that in Canvas Workspace, and you'll either use a 1mm or a 2mm, okay? So to do this on here, I'm just going to click on that. Now 0.06 inches is 1.5mm. So all I'm going to do now is press OK, and it's processing that information for me. So while it's doing that, I want to talk to you. Oh, there we go, I've got it. Right, so we've got our original one, and we've also got our matte layer now. So the next thing I want to create is a perforation line. So we can score with the blade on our posh card, and we have got the posh card on the show. It is flying out, guys. I'm just going to talk to you about that a minute. I know I'm annoying you, but I have to tell you about this because I don't want you to miss out on this deal. You're getting 150 sheets of this wonderful, like a winter white cardstock. Now I'm going to say this is 250 GSM because it holds its own. Look at that. It scores beautifully. I'm going to teach you how to score with your ScanNCut with the blade. You get 30 A3, 30 12 by 12, 30 A5 and 60 A4 for $19.99 before your discount. Now when it's gone, it's gone. We can't get this particular one back, so please, if you've got it, put it in your baskets, because honestly it's superb on your ScanNCut. It's also beautiful for your die cutting, and if you've got a decent printer, it'll go through your printer as well. Now, talking perforation lines, because I know a lot of you when we do construction don't like perforation lines. Unfortunately, when you're doing a valley fold, which is anything where you're folding it into itself, it needs to be a perforation line, because if you score, which is just cutting the top layer of that card, and you try and fold it in itself, it all creases and crumples, and it's not nice. So I want you to score your mounting folds and perforate your valley folds, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. So this card that I've made is 6.5 inches, I think. Somewhere I've got a list with it on, but I've jumbled up all my trolley now. So I'm sure it was 6.5. Yes, it was. So when we're doing a perforation line, we need to make the perforation line so it's shorter than the actual top to bottom of the card. Otherwise, it's going to do exactly what you want it to do, which is perforate. So we need to stop those perforation lines hitting that edge. So I'm going to press OK on here, and I'm going to add, and I'm going to go into the pre-installed patterns in my machine's memory. I'm going to go into the borders. I'm going to go right down to the bottom using those double arrows, and then I'm going to use a single arrow to go up and find that perforation line, and I'm going to set it on the mat. So the first thing I want to do is rotate it 90 degrees so it's vertical, and I'm going to change it to 6.4, 6.45 maybe. We'll do it at 6.4. Let's go in the middle, 6.42, because I can, and then press OK. Right, now then I'm going to save all of that onto the USB as a file. If I brought the reflections into Canvas Workspace, which you can do, if you rotate it, sometimes when you try and then weld it, it sends it back to its original orientation. So I'm doing it all on my machine first, saving it to my USB, and then importing it into Minecraft Studio. If you've got a Wi-Fi enabled machine, which I have, you can send it wirelessly into Canvas, but I want to show you how you would do it if you're a CM user as well, because CM users, I'm not leaving you behind, and I want to show your way. So we press OK twice, and then we save it, and I'm going to save it onto the USB. Tells me it includes a group pattern. I'm not worried about that, because saving it and opening it up will ungroup it. And we're going to press OK, and that will save it onto that USB. It's file number 179. So I'm going to take the USB out of here now, and I'm going to pop it into the side of my laptop, and that will open up, and then we can import that file into Canvas Workspace. Now, I am over Christmas. I finish on the 19th and I don't come back till the 2nd. So I'm going to spend some time on the downloadable version of Canvas Workspace so I can teach you that when I come back from Christmas. It's going to be a bit of a labour of love, I think, because I love the web app one, but I believe there's other things you can do in the downloadable one. So it's my job, and I'm gonna do that for you. So SVGs at the top, that enables you to import a file. So as soon as you click on that and choose file, that will open up your computer. So when I now go to the USB and I scroll down and I find file 179 and double click on it and press OK, that's going to bring these into here for me. Now that perforation line at the moment won't look very nice because the lines are quite far apart, and that's what makes it look, what's the word, unprofessional, because you get the little bit that sticks out, then the cut, then the little bit sticks out. The smaller you can make those lines, the neater it is as a perforation line. So we select it and we go into the properties of that. And then at the bottom down here where it says line type, there's a dash pattern drop down menu here. Click on that and we're going to select this tiny one here that's really tiny cuts and they're close together. So now when I click off that, you can see I've got these lovely perforations, and it almost puts them in sets of 3 like that, so it gives you a really neat finish. Okay, right, we've got a starred comment. Let me read this as we go along. Don't worry if we don't get all this finished in this hour. We will get it done today. Oh, we've got quite a few. Okay. Wendy Candy, afternoon Mel, and all 3 highlight teams and highlighters. Thank you. I love this, all downloaded and printed off, and now crafting along with you in France. Just perfect. Thank you so much. You're very welcome, Wendy. How lovely. If you ever want anything delivering by hand, just let me know. Helen says, the posh card is beautiful. I've used it to print and cut my own business cards. They really do look posh, nice and heavy, and prints clearly. Thank you, Helen. And then we've also got Barbara says, ordered the card as my darling hubby bought me a brand new ScanNCut yesterday, so I've got an upgrade from my CM900. I'm very happy, bunny. Barbara! Oh, he's a keeper, isn't he? Right? Love that. Love that. Right, okay, so first things first, that's my mat layer. That's what I'm going to use to weld. That's my perforation line. So I'm going to move that over here. It's quite difficult to grab hold of a perforation line, so use the arrows on your keyboard. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is divide this. Now there's a little landlocked area there. I'm just going to divide it. I don't really need to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway, because divide is like a digital punch. So if you've got any landlocked areas like that, and if you were welding this to the inside of that oval, you would need to divide it if you wanted to keep that landlocked area. We don't need that bit, but I just wanted to show you that. So I drew out my card, right? In fact, I'll draw it out for you. Then you can actually see the process that my brain goes through. That's quite scary, isn't it? Getting in my head, I tell you, that is a place and a half. Right, now then, so I knew that I wanted a rectangle and I worked out my measurements. So I just took one of the handwriting pens. I told you we all use these, they're blinking brilliant. So rectangle, right, like that. I have files and files of stuff like this, and I don't draw it out neatly. I knew that I wanted it to be 6.5 inches high, and I want the aperture bit in the middle to be 4 inches. They want a 1.5 inch panel and a 2 inch panel. So 4 plus 2 1.5s is 7, plus 4 is 11. All right, so we're having 11 inches wide by 6.5 inches high. Okay, and then the oval we're going to work out depending on the size of that flower or the flower that you're using. Mine is 5 inches high by, is that your tummy? 2.54 inches wide. Are you as hungry as I am? That was very loud, that one, Laura. That's going, feed me now. Brilliant. I love that. What have you got for your lunch? I think we need to take you to a carvery. More all you can eat.
I've got a sandwich actually.
Oh no, Laura. Right, so first of all, what we want to do is make the rectangle with the oval in the middle of it, okay? So what I did was I brought on this and I went into my basic shapes and I brought on a circle and I positioned it and then I stretched it and messed about with it until I got the size that I wanted for this. Okay, so this is with the matte layer. So I worked out, should have kept that, shouldn't I? And you don't need to bring on the oval and rotate it. You can just use the circle. Now, if we select the circle and we go into the properties, that gives you the height and the width. You've also got this little tick box here. So because we want to make it an oval, we're going to untick that box so it separates the height from the width. So I'm going to click on this, I'm going to backspace it, and I'm going to make it 6.5 inches high, and I'm going to make, no that's not right, 5 inches, sorry, that's my card shape, 5 inches high there, and 2.54 it worked out for mine, 2.54 inches wide, and then when you press that cross, that oval will shrink to that size. Okay, then we need a rectangle, so let's bring on a square. Let's go back into properties again, and we're going to make that 6.50 high by 4 inches wide. So if I backspace that and make that 4 inches. Now the way I remember which is your height and your width, because that doesn't tell me anything, does it? That on a square, that's the most ridiculous image ever, because it's an arrow going that way or an arrow going that way. That doesn't tell you height or width, does it, really? It should be straight if they're going to do that, right? Right? I'm not wrong, am I? It doesn't make any sense, does it? So the way that I remember it is height begins with H, and H comes before W for width in the alphabet. My brain does that automatically. I told you it's a scary place. Honestly. Right, so now I'm going to click on this here, and I'm just going to pop it in the middle. We're going to grab both of those. I don't want that perforation line though, so we're going to grab both of those, go to edit and align it centrally vertically and centrally horizontally, and then I'm going to divide it. Now the ScanNCut right now sees a rectangle with an oval sat on top of it. What we need it to do is see it as a rectangle with an oval aperture cut out of it. And this is where the ScanNCut differs from most other cutting machines on the market, because if you're working with something like Cricut, if I imported that into Canvas, into their design space, it would separate the rectangle from the oval. But because we're working with ScanNCut, I don't want you to lose the ability to be able to punch that through or not. So we can do it in Canvas, so we don't do what we call compounding. So if you compound that design as a graphic designer, it sees it as one shape. But I don't want you to do that, because when you've got a stencil that's got all that amazing detail in it, you want to be able to get to that detail and play around with it. So we can compound it or make it see it as an aperture by going to edit, and in process overlap there's a button here called divide, and again this is how my brain works. Divide in my head is a digital punch, and it comes down and it punches that oval through that rectangle, so it now sees it as one shape. If I tried to weld the flower to that without dividing it, it would have deleted, or it would have just got rid of the oval. It wouldn't have worked the same. So we can now put that in the bin because we don't need that anymore. So the next step is you bring on the piece where you've got your offset line and position it where you want it. Okay, now it doesn't have to be bang in the middle. I want a little gap at the top of that oval there so that it looks like it's, you know, meant to be there. Lewis, the TV's has gone off, darling, I'm sorry. Then we're going to grab both of those, but I do want it centrally this way. So if we go to edit, you've got your alignment function in here as well. So I'm going to make sure it's aligned vertically, but I'm not worried about the horizontal alignment. And then when I go to edit with all of that selected, we can weld it or digitally glue it. And you end up with this, okay? And then once you've cut out your flower from your reflections, that is then going to fit over the top of there like that. Okay, so we've now got our piece that we can A, use the rectangle to score, to put that score line in, and B, use that to be able to cut that aperture. Now then, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated, because now I needed to create the rectangle and divide the oval to be able to weld that matte layer to it. But I also need to be able to get rid of this rectangle once I've used the left and the right hand side of it to score. So we've got a bit of a quandary now, because I can't ungroup that now. So we have to do this. All right, so there's always a way around it, and I like working out the ways around it. So if you title it, and we'll title it as Test 1, I'm going to download it now, and I know this sounds weird, but go with me. We're going to download it to our PC, because then it keeps its title. We're then going to go up to Test 1 here, and we're going to open that folder. We're then going to right click and send to, and send it to the USB. So we're saving that file on the USB. I know it sounds ridiculous. Trust me, you need to do it. Unless somebody else can come up with a better idea, which I'm always open to. So please don't ever think you can't tell me stuff, because absolutely we all learn together. So now when I get rid of all that and delete that off, and remember there's an undo, so there's no fear in doing that, and I go back up to SVG and choose the Test 1 file, what that will do is open up that file again. And this time that means that I'm going to duplicate, well no I'm not, I'm going to, when I click on that and go to edit, I can ungroup it. So if you want to be able to ungroup something that you've divided, so when you divide it, it makes it see it as one shape. If you download it and then re-import it, you can ungroup it, which means that now I can use all that to cut the middle and score, and then when we come to cut deeper and we remove that rectangle that's put my vertical score lines in, I can then ungroup it and get rid of that score line. It's brilliant. So I'm going to stop there because we're running out of time. I will recap this quickly tonight at 6 o'clock. We'll do most of the hour demo in tonight. So get all your files and everything else in your basket, get those checked out, and then you could craft along. But once we get to this stage, we then start to make the actual card shape itself, which is actually the easiest part. So I'm going to leave this as it is. We can come back to this at 6 o'clock tonight, but think now about all those different flowers that you've got, all those different pieces of artwork, all those different SVG files that you can now weld within a shape and then create it in an aperture. I was well excited. 3:30 in the morning. I don't know what it is about 3:30, but it's always 3:30 when I have those ideas. Right, come with me, my lovelies, down here. So there's a couple of things that you do not want to miss out on. First one is the Words and Wishes, the Micro Studio download, because I showed you earlier on how to blow one up, scan it in and cut it out your vinyl. You can also draw it, foil it and emboss it. You could actually paper pierce some of them if you wanted to, because if you get your holes close enough together, you can it's still legible. It's brilliant. That's $6.99, Shop Words. Please don't miss out on the vinyl. It's selling out really quickly. It's $9.99 for 2 packs, so 30 12 by 12 sheets, plus your 2 bonus transfer sheets. Please get those. The non-shed glitter card, which is Shop Shed, is flying out. We had very few of these left at the beginning of the show. We've got even less now, and it's perfect for your scan and cut because it doesn't lose anything at all. Right, on your blank USB. And thank you, Mark, very, very much. 12 gig it takes up with your tattered lace digital magazine. So you'll still have 4 gig left. So all those things that you do when you change your files, from those you can keep them on that same USB, which is brilliant. Thank you again for your company. Oh, one more thing. Don't forget that posh card. That's what I'm making the card out of. That's what I'm going to show you how to score. 150 sheets, 30 A5, 30 12 by 12, 30 A3 and 60 A4. It's beautiful. It's UK only because of the weight. 150 sheets. Don't miss out on that. When it's gone, and it's been really busy. Shop Posh, $19.99, and you'll still get your discount and your points back. Thank you so much. I'm going to go and get Laura some food before she passes out in the middle of the studio because she's hungry. So am I. And I will see you back here at 6 o'clock. Have a lovely afternoon, and I'll see you then. Take care. Lots